it's Hallie Anne. Welcome back to my channel, and if you are new, welcome. My name's Hallie. So happy to have you. You guys, we got the Morphe 35O2 round 2 in the mail today. I sat my butt down at 7:45 to film a video for you guys so I could get this up ASAP. If you guys have been following along with me, you know what journey I've been going along as far as what's been going on with my 35O2 palette that I had ordered over a month ago. So long story short, we now have a brand spanking new Morphe 35O2 eyeshadow palette. So if you guys are curious to see a little tutorial by yours truly, a little bit of my opinion on this eyeshadow palette despite the trauma that we went through to get it, go ahead and make sure you guys are subscribed. And without further ado, let's just jump right into this Morphe 35O2 tutorial and review. I already did my foundation, so I put a little bit of powder or a lot of bit of powder underneath my eyes just in case there happens to be any fallout in this 35O2 palette. Look at how beautiful. The color on the camera does not do it justice because it is so freaking fiery. This whole palette is just so much more vibrant. I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm literally gonna wing this whole entire thing, so I hope you're prepared, because I'm not. I'm gonna put down a transition and going to be using this very top left-hand corner shade. It's technically the lightest shade in here, called Universal, and start adding that here. Whoa, that is darker and more pigmented than I had anticipated it being. It blends so nicely though, it's really beautiful color. The next shade that I'm gonna be adding is called Orb. This shade right here on the same brush, and just work it into the exact same area. It's really crazy to me that these are two of the lightest shades in this whole entire palette, but the pigmentation is incredible. The blendability is also incredible. Like, I'm not struggling whatsoever. Nothing is being patchy. I'm super impressed, and these shades are gorgeous. So I'm gonna take a more flat kind of packer brush and choose wisely a darker shade. I'm gonna use this really nice warm brown tone in the shade Rich. I'm literally just gonna pack it all over the lid. I never do dark shades on the lid, but I'm feeling crazy, so let's just do it. Then on a crease brush, I'm gonna work this shade right here called Brick in the crease to kind of fluff everything together. And then I will go ahead and take my original fluffy brush with the very first shade that we use, just a tiny bit, and blend all of that. And I think I'm even gonna concentrate an even slightly deeper shade right underneath. That shade is Brunette. And I'm gonna go ahead and pop that as close as I can down here toward the lash line, because I don't want the really dark colors to get too high. And then I'm just gonna keep blending. This is just a clean brush. Blending everything together so it looks nice and seamless. I'm gonna go back in with my crease brush and that Brick shade right here and just re-add that into my crease because I kind of lost it a bit. If anything, I just kind of wish there was an even lighter shade to blend things out at the very top, but this will work. Okay, so I swept away the under eye powder, and so what I did to kind of sharpen up that line, since I'm not gonna be using more concealer obviously, I just kind of pinched a little tiny brush like this, and if you run it right across, it kind of just helps create a sharper look to your eyeshadow. So if you've already done your foundation, just a tip, that kind of helps. I'm gonna go ahead and finish up the rest of my face and come back to finish off the eye look for you guys. All right, things have obviously gotten a little crazy with my wing, so we are just gonna go with it. And what I mean by that is that we are just going to completely smoke out this wing. It's already dramatic, so let's just keep going. I am actually going to be using Wiz, the darkest shade right here in this whole entire palette, and I'm gonna work it all the way across the wing that I have created. So I will go ahead and show you right now. And I'm gonna smudge it out with kind of a smudgy sort of brush. Sorry guys, I got completely ahead of myself. I don't really know what came over me. Things just kept getting smokier and smokier, and here we are now. I added a Cocoa lash. This is a different one. You probably can't really tell, but in person, it actually really complements this look nicely. This is the 5th Ave lash. All I ended up doing to the lower lash line, I lined the very outer corner right here, just about halfway with just a black eyeliner pencil, kohl pencil, and then underneath that with that flat shader brush, I just went in with a little bit of black as tight as I could right underneath that, and then I took that crease brush that I was using with the brick shade, that orangey shade, and just ran it all the way underneath my lower lash line. And then I added a pop of highlight to the inner corner and on my brow bone in the Makeup Forever Starlit Powder number 13. For highlight, I thought this was a great option to use the Fuego highlight by the Desi Katie collaboration with Dose of Colors. This is such a beautiful golden highlight, so we're gonna go ahead and pop that on our cheekbones here. For the lip, I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna keep it fairly neutral just because this is such a dramatic lip. You could go one of two ways. You could make it really bold or you could keep it neutral. Last but not least, I'm gonna spray my face with a little bit of setting spray. Okay guys, so that completes the tutorial part of this video. To collect my thoughts about this whole entire palette, I think it is gorgeous. I know I had some back and forth thoughts about Morphe just because of the weird customer service that I had gotten from them, because I had never noticed that ever in prior, honestly. Long story short, it took over a month to get my shattered palette replaced. They were kind of being weird in emails because I was just emailing them, and then one of my really good friends, shout out to you, Darby, she suggested that I just call them, and I was like, duh, you're an idiot. Why didn't you do that in the first place? So I did, and then it just got resolved. She was kind of hesitant at first to send me a new one, but I was like, honestly, I will send you my shattered palette back. I just want a palette that I can use. So she was like, no, I believe you. So these are all of the shades in the new 350 palette, and I'm gonna show you in comparison to the OG 350. As you can see, when you look at the two, this one is much more vibrant, much more fiery. This one is almost neutral, which is really funny to say because when this palette came out, it was extremely warm and extremely beautiful. It is still extremely warm and extremely beautiful. This palette is so bright and vibrant, and I would definitely have to say that they are kicking up their formula with each and every launch that they have. Props to Morphe for creating such quality eyeshadows for such an affordable price. Honest to goodness, you will not find the quality of these eyeshadows in anything cheaper, at least from what I have tried in personal experience. So I am just so impressed. This doesn't even show you justice of what the shades are. I only used matte shadows today, but they are so buttery and so creamy, nothing blended weird. They are so darn pigmented. The only drawback, and it's not necessarily a drawback because I could just go ahead and use one of my other palettes, but I almost wish there was just an even lighter shade than this one right here. This is a shimmer shade. I know it looks like it's a really light transition shade, but this is the lightest shade in the palette. And as you guys saw in the tutorial part of this video, it's actually pretty darn pigmented for, you know, being the lightest shade in the palette. So I almost do wish there was a really light shade like there are in the original, but otherwise, no big deal. All these shades are stunning, beautiful. I'm really excited to actually try and create a more wearable look. I know this is not everybody's cup of tea, but I'm actually pretty happy with the way it turned out. I think it looks nice once everything comes together with the makeup. I know we were looking a little crazy before. If you guys want just the ultimate warm tone eyeshadow palette, I would highly suggest the Morphe 35O2 palette. You will not need another warm eyeshadow palette, let me tell you, even though I buy every warm eyeshadow palette. Let's be honest. That really wraps up this whole entire tutorial review. I'm really impressed with the eyeshadow palette. I don't think you guys will be disappointed if you do choose to pick it up, especially if you are into warm tones. I mean, if you don't like warm tones, stay far away. Those are all of my thoughts. Thank you guys so much for sticking around and watching the video. I hope you enjoyed, and I will talk to you very soon in my next one. Bye guys.